During a significant meeting of Mexico's Congress on September 13, 2023, Jammie Maussan, a ufologist with a history of bold claims, presented evidence that stirred considerable debate. Maussan introduced what he believed to be mummified alien remains, discovered in Peru back in 2017. These mummies were peculiar. They possessed elongated heads and only 3 fingers. Maussan's assertions didn't stop at their appearance. With seriousness, he claimed that the Autonomous National University of Mexico had studied the remains and found unidentified DNA strains. Further intriguing the audience, he mentioned X-rays indicating the presence of eggs within these ancient bodies. Dated between 700 and 1,800 years old, these mummies were not new findings, but Maussan's claims brought them back into the spotlight. While his previous affiliations with disputed alien theories raised eyebrows, this latest revelation promised to reignite discussions about the unknown and the possibilities of life beyond Earth. Let's rewind the clock from the 2023 revelations in Mexico's Congress and dive into a crucial chapter from the past that sets the stage for today's unfolding mystery. In July 1947, the US buzzed with UFO sightings. From coast to coast, Americans reported seeing what they believed to be flying saucers. This wave of sightings was set in motion on June 24th when Kenneth Arnold, a private pilot, said he spotted 9 glowing UFOs near Seattle. He estimated their speeds at a staggering 2,000 square kilometers per hour. In the 2 weeks that followed, similar reports poured in from every corner of the country. The media was ablaze with speculations and discussions. They even drew connections between the sightings and atomic test sites, pointing out that the areas with the most sightings were near nuclear testing zones. Then, Mac Brazel from New Mexico came forward with a puzzling discovery. 3 weeks prior, he had found strange debris on his land, pieces of tinfoil, rubber, and a slender wooden beam. Wondering if this had any connection to the ongoing UFO frenzy, he presented the items to the sheriff in Roswell on July 7th. This caught the eye of Colonel William Blanchard, the head of the Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF. In a shocking turn of events, on the following day, the RAAF announced that they had evidence of the rumored flying discs. They declared, "The 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force, Roswell Army Airfield, has successfully recovered a disc." It seemed like a confirmation of the existence of UFOs by the US Army. However, in a swift change of narrative, the US Army officials backpedaled on their claim the very next day. After the mysterious debris surfaced, the initial conclusion was straightforward. The debris was from a weather balloon. Major Marcel was photographed with the balloon remnants as solid evidence. With that, the sensational news faded. The consensus? No UFO, just a stray weather balloon, leading public interest to wane. However, by the late 1970s, whispers began to circulate again. Stories emerged of an alien craft hovering over the New Mexico desert, which supposedly met its end by a lightning strike, tragically killing its extraterrestrial occupants. Major Marcel, breaking decades of silence, published The Roswell Incident in 1980. He boldly stated that the debris he encountered wasn't from any earthly creation. The Roswell Incident's significance grew exponentially over the years, with numerous theories emerging. Tales of a living extraterrestrial survivor from the crash began to circulate. Some even assert that this being is held captive at a clandestine military base, with the US Army endeavoring to decode alien technologies and study extraterrestrial biology. The speculated location of these covert operations? The infamous Area 51. Let's dive in and uncover the real story behind this ongoing mystery in our today's video. If you're as curious as I am about the mysteries of our world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's journey through these stories together. Area 51 sits isolated in the heart of a desert, a US military facility distant from the nearest cities. Venture too close and you'll be met with stern warnings. Photography prohibited. Trespassers will be met with deadly force. Such severe caution naturally sparks the question, what secrets lie within? The intrigue around Area 51 took an unexpected twist in June 2019. Joe Rogan, a renowned podcaster, had Bob Lazar on his show. Lazar, a controversial figure in UFO circles, proclaimed he had delved deep into the mysteries of Area 51, even claiming to have worked there on reverse engineering alien tech. He passionately described his first-hand experience, stating,
I went into the hangar door, and in the hangar door was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on.
In a lighthearted response, a college student, Maddie Roberts, inspired by the podcast and driven by curiosity, whimsically created a Facebook event named Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us. Intending to be a jest, the event suggested an assembly at Area 51 at 3 a.m. on September 20th, 2019. To add to the joke, attendees were even advised to do the Naruto run, a reference to a popular Japanese manga series, supposedly to dodge potential bullets. However, the internet works in mysterious ways. The prank event quickly spiraled, with over 2 million people RSVPing. Alarmed by the unanticipated viral spread of his joke, Roberts exclaimed, "I just created it while playing video games. Now it's this wild beast." Even the FBI took note, visiting him in person. The event's exponential growth forced Roberts to distance himself. Area 51's isolation is strategic. It's located within America's largest government-controlled territory, the Nevada Test and Training Range, spanning over 12,000 square kilometers. Adjacent lies the Nevada Test Site, the ground zero for nuclear weapon tests from the 1950s to the 1990s. Such proximity to nuclear test sites further underscores the need for its restricted status. To truly grasp the nuances of the Storm Area 51 event, it's essential to journey back into Area 51's history, anchored deeply in the Cold War era. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower felt the pressing need for a clandestine location to initiate a high-altitude reconnaissance program. He envisioned the development of spy planes vital for intelligence against the looming threat of the Soviet Union's nuclear arsenal. The responsibility of locating this secret base was handed to two CIA officers. Annie Jacobsen, in her book Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top-Secret Military Base, describes this classified location nestled in a dried-up Nevada lake bed known as Groom Lake. This spot eventually became the legendary Area 51. Interestingly, this zone already had a cloak of secrecy, serving as a nuclear weapons testing ground. It was here that two outstanding spy aircraft were crafted, the U-2 spy airplane, and later, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. After the Soviets' atomic bomb detonation in 1949, the US was in the dark, lacking satellite tech. Eisenhower's covert CIA initiative, Project Aquatone, with a budget of $22 million, aimed to construct a plane that could cover vast distances, fly at high altitudes, remain radar invisible, and escape anti-aircraft missiles. The U-2 was the answer. For years, this aircraft provided unparalleled intelligence over Soviet territories. However, a setback came on May 1, 1960, when a U-2 was downed by a missile, compromising years of secrecy and forcing a confession from the US. This incident propelled the creation of the SR-71 Blackbird, an aircraft unparalleled in speed and altitude, ensuring its safety from enemy defense systems. But how did they test such a vital asset while keeping it from global eyes? Enter the UFOs. By neither confirming nor denying UFO sightings, and by subtly linking them to extraterrestrial phenomena, the CIA found the perfect smokescreen. It's noteworthy that UFO tales resurfaced in the 1970s, coinciding with the SR-71's testing phase. The truths behind these legends were finally laid bare in 1994. While the facts were clear, the allure of conspiracy theories persisted. So, with such a provocative backstory, what became of the 2 million people stirred by the Storm Area 51 event? Given Area 51's remote location, security personnel expected at most 30,000 attendees. Yet, the event evolved from a storming to an alien-themed music fest dubbed Alien Stock. On the day, merely 6,000 enthusiasts showed up. Thankfully, the gathering was peaceful. No attempts were made to breach Area 51, and no property was harmed. However, the mobilization did cost approximately $300,000. Circling back to the Roswell incident, the military initially dismissed the debris as a mere weather balloon. Yet, in 1994, the US Air Force unveiled its true nature, a nuclear surveillance balloon from Project Mogul, designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. The government's inconsistent narratives over the years eroded public trust, thus fueling conspiracy theories even after clarifications. However, the logic behind many UFO sightings is more mundane than otherworldly. Most passenger aircraft cruise between 10,000 mir to 20,000 mirs, while military crafts like the U-2 and SR-71 reach up to 26,000 mirs. Often tested around dusk, imagine these uniquely designed crafts soaring, reflecting the sun's phenol rays. To the average observer, they might easily resemble UFOs. Many reported UFO sightings are simply military drones, decoy flares, or other specialized aerial devices. Remember, UFO simply means unidentified flying objects. It never directly implies extraterrestrials. Given the spy plane's frequent tests around Area 51, it's no wonder the base became synonymous with alien lore. The U.S. Air Force's Project Blue Book took the initiative to investigate numerous UFO sightings. When individuals reported witnessing UFOs, the project's team would cross-reference the timing of these claims with their flight logs. Through this method, the majority of UFO reports from the late 1950s and 1960s were debunked. As for conspiracy theorist Bob Lazar, who professed to be commissioned by the government to study alien technology, subsequent revelations exposed fabrications in his educational background. In June 2013, the existence of Area 51 was publicly confirmed by the CIA, with many of its historical secrets declassified under the Freedom of Information Act. Fast forward to January 2017, and the CIA released 13 million pages of declassified documents online. These papers contain numerous records, including UFO sightings and experiments conducted by the agency. To distance from the term strong alien association, the US government no longer uses UFO. Instead, they've adopted UAP, standing for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. Mexico's scientists recently unveiled what might be considered by some as potential evidence of alien life forms. In the nation's first ever public congressional session addressing unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs, commonly known as UFOs, two intriguing mummified specimens were put on display. Jammie Maussan, the individual showcasing these specimens, touted them as monumental proof. He suggested that their DNA might corroborate a non-human origin. However, Maussan carefully sidestepped outright labeling them as extraterrestrial for the moment. The pressing question that looms large is, did the government confirm aliens exist? History and skepticism shadow Maussan's assertions. A previous 2015 revelation saw him championing what he believed was an alien body. This claim was later debunked, identifying the specimen as a child with unique cranial abnormalities. Many experts argue that some elongated skulls, like those on specific Peruvian mummies, were the product of intentional head binding, possibly for ritualistic or religious reasons. In conclusion, while discussions and speculations continue to swirl, the persistent quest to uncover the mysteries of potential extraterrestrial life holds the world's collective attention, awaiting definitive answers.